I met Mike because he came to do an improv show with us. He was like our guest. And like you, I would have been, I'm like, oh my God. And so we did, I think maybe 2 shows or something like that. And he thought I was really funny, and I knew he was very funny. And so when this happened, he was working on something which was this, thing, Austin Powers. And so he tried something out at the Groundlings, and he was Austin Powers, and then he asked me and a couple of other people, hey, would you do this show with me and kind of help me out? And I was like, yeah.
We have the distinct privilege of being here today with the incomparable Mindy Sterling, so make some noise.
Just to let you know, these are horrible seats.
These are horrible seats.
Am I right? Did you do what I just did? Like, oh, okay.
Bouncing there.
Yeah, look into some new ones.
Yeah, we're gonna work that in the budget for the next New Jersey HorrorCon. So normally I start these off asking people who their influences were, but because you are part of an elite group that I have deep respect for, I have to start by asking about your time with the Groundlings.
Oh, yes. First of all, do you guys know what the Groundlings are? Who doesn't? Somebody tell them. It's an incredible organization. It's been around since the early 70s, I believe, and they do sketch comedy, improv, lots of wonderful things, and some great people came out of it. Do you remember some of the people that came out of it? Because I'll forget.
Well, there would be Phil Hartman, of course.
Hartman.
Elvira.
Yep.
Paul Reubens.
Yep.
Jan Hooks, I believe.
Nope.
Nope, not Jan.
Keep going.
Oh, gosh.
And somebody we just lost, yes.
There's so many eras, too.
Yes, Lynn
Lovitz?
Stewart, who used to be on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and she was, Miss Yvonne, that's right.
John Paragon also.
John Paragon, yes. Yeah. And then there's lots of people from this new era. So, Kristen Wiig, anyway. So, and then there was me. And that is where I really just sort of found what I do well, which is improv. I don't have to remember anything. I'm not being told what to do. And so I was doing that kind of I think in the 80s, the late 80s is when I got it. And so you go through a program. If anybody is interested in any of this, let me know. You go through a program, and there's like so many levels that you have to get through, and based on your work and what you produce. And then I was a Groundling. So I was a Groundling for like 10 years. And then I taught and still every now and then do shows at the Groundlings. So it was everything to me, to go back to what you had to say, because who knows what other place I would have ended up going to or whatever, but I found the place. It's like, oh, I found my people. It's like, these are the people that I need to be with all the time. And I'm so, I have so many really good friends still. So, yes, so that's how I met Mike Myers.
Wow.
I met Mike because he came to do an improv show with us. He was like our guest. And like you, I would have been, I'm like, oh my God. And so we did, I think maybe 2 shows or something like that. And he thought I was really funny, and I knew he was very funny. And so when this happened, he was working on something which was this, thing, Austin Powers. And so he tried something out at the Groundlings, and he was Austin Powers, and then he asked me and a couple of other people, hey, would you do this show with me and kind of help me out? And I was like, yeah. And I don't remember what I did. I know people say, did you do Frau? And I went, I don't know. I really don't remember. I have a really bad memory. And but it was the meeting of him. It was the director, the meeting of the director. So I got all these people that thought, oh my God, she's perfect for it. And that's how it went.
Amazing. That's so cool. So I could definitely ask Austin Powers questions all day, but I'm sure we'll have some from the audience. I do want to also remind you guys that this is your Q&A panel as well. So whenever I see hands go up, I am happy to start calling out audience questions. But I have a lot here, and being that we're at a HorrorCon, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't ask about House, about your time doing the movie House.
What? Does anybody know that I was in House? How do you know this? Oh, because it's a
HorrorCon.
It's a horror. Because I'm like thinking, why are they bringing me in? I'm not horror, am I? Is Frau horror? Anyway, I love it. Doesn't matter. That was like one of my first things. My very first things. And the really cool thing is that years later, it was fine. I mean, I was like, what was it? Girl in the Line or Book Girl in the Line. I mean, I love when they never gave you a name. It's like in my mind, I went, okay, well, my name is going to be Connie. And give myself a name. And I had a great time, but I worked with, I can't think of his name. Yes, William Catt, thank you very much. So, yeah, and then I worked with him again on something, and like a couple of years ago, and I went up to him and I went, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I was in the movie with you, and he's like, yes, of course I know who you are, which was really, really lovely. And we became friends, and it was just, it was so far along that, you thought, oh, I don't know if he's going to care about me or not, but he did. He did care about me. So it was, so again, one thing leads to another. You never know things go, so yeah.
Oh my God, this and the Groundlings, this is both like making my fan dreams come true right now. I could not be loving it.
Are you going to the bathroom? Okay, good.
So, seeing how you just shouted out what I assume is a Perfect Stranger, it's a good time for me to ask about you doing Perfect Strangers.
Do you know Perfect Strangers? Wait a minute. How do I? You guys are so much younger than I am. How do you know about these things?
Perfect Strangers lives forever.
Really? Like, where do you see that?
It's on Hulu. It like dominates Hulu. I watch it regularly.
So I was in one little scene, right? I was like the host.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Does anybody remember? See, you don't even know. But anyway, yes, it was so long ago. I guess they were nice. I don't really have anything to talk about because it was so long ago, and you're kind of there just to do your job. I think everybody was nice to me. Nobody made me cry, and so yeah. I know I have no memories of it. I mean, I remember doing it, but I have nothing like, anything to say about it.
It's got to be tough. It's like, do you remember that one Thursday of work in 1987? I think it was November. It was, it's like, oh boy, I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I draw a blank a lot.
I try and ask kind of deep cut questions that are not like the stuff you get at every panel.
No, I like that.
I apologize.
Just don't ask me like, what was it like to work with Mike Myers?
So what did they serve at craft services when you did the Larry Sanders show on the weekend?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be funny if I remembered?
That would be great. If you're
I loved
mac and cheese every day. Like, are you kidding me?
I loved him. I loved working with him. I loved. That was kind of it was just sort of, I don't know, it just happened that I got involved in that. Oh, it was his girlfriend. She was taking classes at the Groundlings, and I was her teacher. Linda, her name was, and she said, "Oh my God, I have to tell him about you because you're so funny. I want you to be in the show." And I went, "Oh, all right," and and so she got me like a little part in the show. Oh, man, I know, you never know. Be nice.
It's amazing that like Larry Sanders show and Perfect Strangers, these are part of like my HBO and TV childhood. So these.
So do you guys watch anything like murder mysteries or? I love all that stuff. I love it. I love watching shit like that right before I go to sleep. I'm not sure why. I just and I find myself watching things like from I love the everybody that's from a different country, and I watch them like I could feel my whole face tighten up, and then I have people go, "Oh, don't you watch any funny stuff, any comedies?" I went, "No, And I don't know what that is. Can somebody tell me?
Well, it's funny, the things that I watch to fall asleep are things more like, say, Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Oh, my God.
If you have any memories of that would just make my life complete, so.
Yeah, that was an interesting show to be on. If you were not a part of their cast, you weren't really... I remember, okay, this is going to sound so weird, but I remember it was lunchtime, and I went and I sat somewhere, where I thought was perfect, and I started to eat lunch, and then the cast started coming in, and the producer, I don't remember his name, you probably know it.
Peter Angle?
Jesus, I don't know. Maybe. I think you're right. Anyway, and I'm getting ready to eat, and somebody came over, somebody the crew or somebody, another producer, and said, "I'm sorry, but you can't sit here because this is where they all talk and blah blah blah." And I was so embarrassed. I mean, which is stupid, but it was like, you felt like you're not good enough. But it really wasn't about that. But I made it about that, because it was kind of, and everybody just like stopped talking. And I was like, okay, thanks, thank you. And I moved. Yeah, it was like that kind of a thing. It was creepy.
Oh my gosh, well, they deserve their cancellation then. One season. Who's laughing now?
I think I did two.
Was there
two shows.
Oh, 2 episodes?
2 episodes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Yeah, not the whole season now.
I was going to say, I don't remember a second season. My DVD set is incomplete. So another DVD set, of course. And again, don't want to, I be a mic hog. So as soon as I see hands, I will happily. Oh, there we go. Great. Oh, right. Yeah, I'll come out. What am I doing? This is wireless for a reason.
I think I'm loud enough.
You're probably loud enough like me, right?
So you're from Patterson.
Isn't that weird? I was born in Patterson, New Jersey. I left when I was very young. I have no memory of it at all.
But it's okay. You still come from the hood. We from the same
I have
place.
Because I moved. I was raised in Miami, Florida, and then I went to LA.
So what was it like working with
Don't say Mike Myers.
The iCarly crew, Miranda, Jeanette, and Nathan?
They were lovely. They were really lovely. They were good people. They were good kids. My favorite was Jeanette. I just loved her. Yeah, I loved her, and I loved her book. And people asked me, do you know anything that went on in there at that time? I go, no, I don't. I mean, I was there. It was not nothing that I saw that I thought, didn't hear anything about it or whatever. And I do believe that these things happen. And no, I just was there to do my stuff and kind of was probably alone for a little while. I mean, it's not like I'm hanging with the kids, because they're, and Jerry I knew, yes. So, so I just, but like, very nice. We had fun together, but, nothing, kids.
No problem. Any other, here we go.
Ms. Sterling, may I ask, I know it was a long time ago, but what was it like working with Jim Carrey in The Grinch?
Good one. The whole thing was fabulous. The whole film, the process, except for putting on, all the makeup and all the, things that they tape to you. And
I know. You said, I saw an interview, you said like 80 pounds of prosthetics?
Probably. That was for him, I think. I think him. Mine was just like the nose and the face. His whole body and having to get into it was very uncomfortable. And I heard that it was hard for him to play, because when I was going to do the show with him, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, you're not doing fun for me. And very nice, but he was there to work. He could not be in it for that long of time. It was really uncomfortable. And then, but all the wonderful people that I met, all the Who's in Whoville, I loved it. This was like, oh my God. I am doing this movie. It is so incredible. And I literally got the part. Ron had just talked to me and wasn't sure what they were going to do with it, and what he wanted to see people, how fun it would be for them, or what they can. So yeah, I ended up being like, one of the moms or the aunts or whatever, and it was. I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, it's a big deal. So yeah, so it was very, very fun and interesting. But he wasn't. I mean, he just was nice, but he wasn't like I played with him like Mike, But yeah, or maybe he just didn't like me.
How was your time to work on the Goldbergs?
I loved it! I love the Goldbergs. I loved it so much. And also, too, I got to work with Wendy McClendon-Covey. She was in the Groundlings. And Stephanie Courtney, Groundlings. And she's also, she's on that commercial, Flo. And then the other one, Jen Irwin, she did a lot of work. And she was in the show before they decided to have Friends for Beverly. And I loved it. I was so sad when we had to go. Bye-bye. Yeah, because I was recurring for like 5 years. And so, you're not doing it all the time. But boy, when you do it, it's like having the best time ever with your friends.
We have other audience questions at the moment. Well, one I have to ask about for sure is Family Matters.
Don't ask me about Mike.
I'm not asking about Mike, but I got to ask about Family Matters.
Oh my God, you really are hooked to those things.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was also, it's kind of fun and weird, and but they were also nice and wonderful. And I remember a friend of mine, he was the casting director, so I ended up getting the first one where, do you remember what I did? I was in a club, and it was like, remember the guys, they would walk around, they would dance, and they would be half naked. What were they? The Chippendales. And then I do something, and I'm sitting there by myself, and you can tell this character was out of the ball. And so I started screaming and stuff. And then I did it. And then like a couple of seasons later, I get another call, and I'm auditioning for another part. And I went, you do know that I've already done this. And they were like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm like, okay. So I played a woman who was, she was a teacher and with like a gymnast or something. And it was like, all right, I'll play somebody else. So at that time, I didn't care.
I always wonder about that, because when I see actors come back on a sitcom playing a different character another season later, so I assume that like, oh, well, they must just be great friends. And it's like, hey, Mindy, come on, do this role. But I guess they made you audition. That's terrible.
Well, no, but it wasn't, the casting person knew me. Okay. And he was also a Groundling. Yeah. But then I just kept, just thinking, just to remind you, I was already in this. And he's like, they don't care. And I thought, cool, so again, work is work. But it just was always so weird to me.
Wow. Well, I do want to give the audience one more chance to jump in there. We are getting short on time, so I don't want to miss your chance.
Is it lunchtime yet? What are we having? What are we having? What? No, I can't eat that shit. Somebody's going to go out and have to get me some lunch. Where are we going? Oh my God! Okay, I did not see where you went.
It's okay. Were you in the Groundlings with Paul Reubens?
I was not doing shows with Paul Reubens at that time, but we did do a really great, funny show, and I did get to meet him, and he was in it with us, and I really liked him. He was lovely, he was funny, and he really cared for you. Like but I have to tell you something really funny. So every year, this was several years, he would send me a big happy birthday online, and then there was one, then he would do this video, and he'd go, I just want to tell you how much I love you. I think you are so wonderful. And he went on and on and on to where you're so touched. Then I found out that he does it to everyone. And I was like, what? So, yeah, but I really thought it was just me.
But that also shows how much he cared about his friends, though, because he cared about everything.
He really did. He really did. He was, I'm sure he was crazy as shit doing, his show. But he really did have like a lovely part of him, and so it's kind of sad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a question right over here.
When is lunch? And when am I having? You better look for me. Okay.
I'll find out.
Okay, thank you.
Mindy, you've played a lot of comedic characters, a lot of, is there a type of character you've really wanted to play that you haven't gotten a chance to yet?
The type of character?
Yes.
Well, I always wanted to do something that, I've done a couple of things where I'm not funny, or at least I try not to be. And I've done some, more dramatic stuff. But I'm always that person. I always look at myself going, you're kind of quirky. And so, I always feel like sometimes that just kind of comes out in me, the quirkiness, whether it's, if I'm doing something dramatic. But I would love to do something small, because I can't remember anything, no lines, and do that. But I do love my comedy.
So one more, if I may. Mm-hmm. You've auditioned for a number of roles. What was your worst audition?
All of them. I am never happy after an audition. I leave, and I'm like, fuck. What did I do? Why did I do that? And blah, blah, blah. I never know, and especially I'll go on things, and then I'll just completely okay, well, that's an end. And then sometimes I get it. So I have no feel, I just don't know. I think it's just I'm too in my head, and, being an actor, it's not that easy. But I do remember there's this one time, remember the show, oh gosh, come on, Mindy. There was SNL, and then there was the other show.
In Living Color, Mad TV.
Mad TV. God, you need to just be with me all the time.
Sounds great.
Mad TV, and I remember going into auditioning, and it was like, just a group of people, and they were watching, and I was doing characters and stuff, and and this happens a lot. And you look at them, you get you get your vision looking at them to see how they're doing, and literally they were like. And I'm thinking, oh my, and so then you start turning that around like, oh my God, they hate me. So never ever got a call back, nothing, blah, 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 blah. So they can be really horrible if you let them be. I'm unfortunately that person that lets them be. So I really have to work on that, because it is hard.
Well, we have time for one more. It would be a crime if I didn't ask about the greatest...
You want me to sing?
Well, you're more than welcome. Oh, okay, we do have, okay. Oh, come here then.
Then there's lunch.
I was going to tell you, feel encouraged. I suffer from CRS too. Can't remember shit.
Yes! Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I just found out that I have ADHD, and so I'm kind of okay about it, because now I feel like I'm not just stupid and lazy like, your family would tell you. And then I am having, but I hear that's from anxiety and from ADHD, and I went and had like a whole scan of my brain, thinking, what do I have? And they're like, Mindy, your brain's fine. It's getting older. It's ADHD, and you have got too much anxiety. Stop it. So if you have anybody has any things to tell me to help me get through it, thank you. But
No,
yes.
You're fabulous. What else do you...
I love you.
No, I'm an actor too, and I want to hear more about the Groundlings.
Oh my God.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Tell her. Yes. Now or later.
Well, I think probably later. Nobody else has to sit through this. So.
Yes. If it gets quiet and you my thing, or we can, I can. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But what is your name?
My name is Thos Shipley.
I will never remember that.
Okay.
I try. But I just want you to know that I'm not mean about it. I just don't remember.
Now I'm going to take that as she really does.
Yeah, no, but I will remember you when you come over. Then if you're coming tomorrow, then it's usually a little quieter. Maybe we would have time as well. Are you coming tomorrow?
I'm planning to.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then there you go, because I can tell you all about it. Isn't this fun?
Yeah. So if there is one more, then that's where I'm going.
So I actually just showed Austin Powers to my husband last year, all 3 movies. I just wanted to ask, like, what was it like being immersed in that character for so long?
Who, me?
Yeah. I mean, I love that character personally.
Well, because she's German. That is my German accent. And you listen to what's going on. And it was so much fun to do. And the yelling, I'm a yeller. So I will, that's, everybody goes, how'd you do that? How'd you pick that? And I went, that's just how I yell when I'm not getting my way. Or, if I call for my son, I'll go, Max, come here. And so I don't realize that it's just insanely crazy. But it was, I'm telling you, it was like the best part of my life. Doing that, three of them, I mean, like, come on, 1 is okay, 2 is really nice. 3, I did 3 of them, and I will never, ever, ever forget how good they were to me, how they liked what I did, and that is still something that, is around to talk about. I am one of the most, grateful people you'll ever find. So it was great.
Well, we are all incredibly grateful.
Oh, there are new people coming in. You don't want to talk to me, do you? Because I'm leaving!
Well, guys, if you didn't hear that in the cheap seats, unfortunately, that does mean we are out of time. But the good news is you can stop by Mindy's table. I know she's got 1.5 billion more stories to tell you. And make some noise for the incomparable Mindy Sterling.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Hi, this is Amanda Tapping. Thanks for watching. And it doesn't matter if your reproductive organs are on the inside or the outside. You can still enjoy Fandom Spotlight. Have fun and follow your fandom.